Today, we dive into the story of one of the most fascinating kings in the Bible, Solomon. Known for his unparalleled wisdom and unimaginable wealth, he was a leader loved by many. But why, despite all of this, did he fall? What caused the wisest man on earth to stray from God? Stay until the end to discover the details of this story and how the lessons from Solomon can still impact our lives today. Solomon was the son of King David, and from an early age, he showed himself to be special. In his youth, after ascending to the throne of Israel, God appeared to Solomon in a dream and made him a surprising offer. "Ask for whatever you want, and I will give it to you." 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 5. Instead of asking for riches or the defeat of his enemies, Solomon asked for wisdom to govern God's people. This request deeply pleased the Lord, who not only granted Solomon unparalleled wisdom, but also blessed him with riches, honor, and power. Solomon's wisdom became legendary. He wrote books filled with teachings, such as Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and the Song of Songs, which are still read and revered today. He ruled with justice, brought peace to Israel, and built the magnificent temple in Jerusalem, one of the greatest works of antiquity. But his wisdom was only a part of his greatness. Solomon accumulated immense wealth and was admired by kings and queens from various nations. A notable example was the visit of the Queen of Sheba, who was impressed not only by his wisdom, but also by the splendor of his palace and the grandeur of his reign. She said to him, "Not even half was told to me about your wisdom and wealth." 1 Kings chapter 10, verse 7. Solomon reigned with strength, wisdom, and divine favor. It seemed that he was destined to be the greatest king in the history of Israel, with everything under his control. But, as we shall see, the king's heart began to turn away from God. Despite all the wisdom and blessings that God gave him, Solomon had a fatal weakness: his inability to resist the power of temptation. He had many wives and concubines, 700 royal wives, and 300 concubines, as mentioned in 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 3. And here was the problem. Many of these women were foreigners, from nations that worshipped other gods, something that God had explicitly forbidden the people of Israel. Solomon held fast to them in love, says the Bible in 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 2, and his heart began to turn away. Influenced by his wives, he built altars and places of worship for foreign gods, such as Ashtoreth, goddess of the Sidonians, and Molech, the god of the Ammonites. Solomon not only allowed idolatry, but also began to worship these gods himself. This turning away from God had disastrous consequences. The Lord became deeply angry with Solomon because his heart was no longer fully devoted to him. God had repeatedly warned him not to follow other gods, but the king disobeyed. As a result, the Lord decided to take the kingdom away from Solomon. But because of David's faithfulness, God promised not to do so during Solomon's life. Instead, the kingdom would be divided in the days of his son, and only one tribe, Judah, would remain under the rule of David's lineage, as mentioned in 1 Kings chapter 11, verses 11 to 13. Solomon's fall was swift and devastating. He had been blessed with everything: wisdom, wealth, and God's favor. But his heart was turned away by his love for foreign women and their gods. He distanced himself from the Lord, and as a result, lost divine favor. The story of Solomon teaches us several valuable lessons. First, it reminds us that no one is immune to temptation. Even the wisest man in the world fell because he allowed his heart to be led astray by earthly desires. This teaches us the importance of maintaining our faith and devotion to God, regardless of the blessings or success we may achieve in life. Furthermore, we see that small compromises can lead to great falls. Solomon did not abandon God all at once. His turning away was gradual, beginning with small compromises, marrying foreign women and allowing idolatry in Israel. Over time, these compromises eroded his devotion to God and led to his downfall. Finally, the story of Solomon teaches us that God is faithful to his promises, both of blessing and of judgment. God fulfilled his promise to bless Solomon with wisdom, wealth, and power, but he also fulfilled his warning to take the kingdom away when Solomon disobeyed. This reminds us that we must take God's warnings seriously and strive to live according to his will. The story of Solomon is a powerful reminder that no matter how blessed you are, if you turn your heart away from God, a fall may be imminent. Share your thoughts on Solomon's story in the comments below, and don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video.